I think I should go to the zoo. I didn't go. I still don't want to go to the zoo. I don't really want to do most things lately. I think I just don't want to go anywhere. But the zoo has animals, and I like animals, so that's the best shot I got at leaving the house this week. I'm laying here scrolling the zoo website, looking at the map, looking at what's open, reading the description of exhibits, and if you're doing the math, that's not the behavior of someone who doesn't want to go. And then I find out the zoo has a thing called
Chimp Chat,
where zookeepers talk about the chimps while the chimps eat and do chimp stuff. It happens every single day of the week, except Thursday. But thankfully, it is not Thursday, and Chimp Chat is the deciding factor that actually motivates me to go.
wake up, 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 wake up.
Hey guys, welcome back to Joey on Foot. Last video, I hiked Malibu Creek State Park where they filmed the original Planet of the Apes, and I stood right where the original Ape City used to be. Since then, I've had monkey on the mind, so today I'm going to the LA Zoo to see actual apes. It's technically still a hike if you think about it. You can't drive anywhere in LA without passing construction. There's always a building going up, a road being laid down, scaffolding on something. LA is a city that is perpetually almost finished, always becoming the next version of itself and never quite arriving. The hypocrisy of construction is that it's supposed to make things better, but while it's happening, while you're in it, everything is worse. Living inside an active improvement is uncomfortable, and here, it's never done. There's no moment when someone flips a switch and says, okay, LA's finished, we did it, great job everybody. The construction is just what LA is. After avoiding the freeway construction by driving over unfilled potholes, I arrive at Griffith Park, home of the Griffith Observatory, the Hollywood sign, and the LA Zoo. Technically most of that is in Burbank, but no one ever says they're going to the Burbank Zoo, and nobody hikes to the Burbank sign. No one who ever moved here to act or write or direct has ever said they're moving across the country to get their big break in Burbank. It's always LA. Maybe because it's a lot easier to buy an LA hat than a Burbank one. Maybe because it's easier to throw up the LA sign than a Burbank sign. Or maybe because LA is the abstracted coalition of a city that a lot of different ideas exist inside of. The LA Zoo being one of them. But this isn't the first LA Zoo. The original Griffith Park Zoo opened in 1912, about 2 miles south of where the current one is. It was built on the site of Griffith J. Griffith's defunct ostrich farm. And yes, if you're wondering, and the J stands for Griffith. The original zoo started with whatever animals he could find, including animal actors donated from the collection of film producer William Nicholas Selig. The zoo was frequently criticized for being an inadequate, ugly, poorly designed, and underfinanced collection of beat-up cages, which is also how my real estate agent described my first apartment. Over the decades, many animals escaped, died, or escaped and then died, and they finally shut the zoo down in August of 1966. And then they built a new one, the current LA Zoo, which opened December of the same year. And a bunch of other bad shit happened at this zoo too. A wolf escaped, a mountain lion broke in and killed a koala, a bighorn sheep escaped and made it all the way to the Greek theater before being killed in a hit-and-run accident. And 60 years later, the upgrade is now in the middle of a $650 million renovation because the facilities are outdated again. But that's the thing about construction. It's an active effort to make things better, but it's never done. And I find myself asking, does a city that is always under construction ever feel complete? Does a zoo? Does a person? The old zoo, they just left it. You can walk through the empty cages today if you want. They even filmed Anchorman there.
News team! Bear bites! Hit him in the uvula! Hey, Ron! I'm running a furry tractor!
But we are not there today. Today we are at the current LA Zoo, and two things hit you right when you walk through the gate. One, no one else is alone at the zoo. There's field trips, there's families, there are couples on dates, and then there's me.
Oh my god!
Two, construction everywhere. The chain link fencing that they use for the construction also looks exactly the same as the chain link fencing they use on some of the enclosures. So there's stretches where you can't even tell if you're looking at a habitat or a work zone. I guess it wouldn't be the LA Zoo without never-ending construction.
I don't think they're supposed to be doing that.
My blood sugar at this point is 320, and I hope that walking will bring it down. That is, after all, the whole reason this channel exists. Force myself to walk and perhaps entertain you guys along the way. There's a face painting station where they paint kids up like tigers and butterflies and probably Spider-Man. I didn't get my face painted, but I'm telling you this now so that if you want to, you can imagine me in full tiger face paint for the rest of the video. I don't have a lot to say about flamingos except that every single person who walks past them says the same thing.
They actually eat shrimp, and that's what makes them pink.
I even heard one woman say that it isn't true before just immediately reciting the fact anyway. So I don't know what to believe. And then there's the reptile lair. A dark, hot room full of cold-blooded animals and a shit ton of kids sprinting to see the same glass cases at the same time. I kept getting boxed out by 8-year-olds, but to be fair, I mean, this place is more for them. I was dying in there anyway because the room is heated for the reptiles and my blood sugar was still climbing, so I was feeling decidedly warm-blooded. And I figured by now the walking would have brought me down, but no, 340 and still going up. My vision was getting kind of blurry, I was sweating through my shirt, and every shot I tried to take looked like ass. Even the animals that I could see were just sitting in the back like an underpaid retail store manager. But this is where I started noticing what I was doing here. I'm trying really hard to capture this place on camera, to get good footage, and to make sure that it is interesting for the video. But I start to wonder, at what point am I spending so much time trying to film the experience that I'm not actually having it? My alarm goes off. Chimp chat, 30 minutes. The gorillas were on the way to the chimps, so I decided to stop. The gorilla enclosure is this big, open, calm space that sort of implies the observer should be quiet and respectful. But once again, there were in fact a shit ton of kids screaming at each other to look at the gorilla! Yeah, man, I think that's what we're all here for. The gorillas were calm. A mother and her baby sitting on the ground near the very back wall of the enclosure, eating leaves. The baby curiously looking around. The mother not looking at anything. A woman on her lunch break. I couldn't really see the gorillas from where I was standing. They were kind of around this stone pillar thing, and the only way I could see them was by holding my phone camera out at an angle and watching the screen. So I'm physically at the gorilla exhibit, and I'm watching the whole thing through my phone. At first I could only see the mom, and then the baby, and then a couple others that appeared from behind rocks, and then they all walked out of view entirely. I spent the whole time at the gorilla exhibit experiencing it through a screen, but Chimp Chat was coming up. I'd spent too much time at the gorillas, so I rushed past the giraffes, and I'm sorry giraffes, you guys seem great, I just don't have the time right now. I made it to the chimp area just as the zookeeper was walking out with the food. This is Chimp Chat. This is the thing that got me out of bed, the reason I came at all. Before the food arrived, the chimps were doing the same thing as the gorillas, sitting around, vibing. Then the zookeeper walked up with a big plastic bucket and they got hyped.
We have their snacks, so they might get a little bit noisy. actually need to give them more vegetables compared to fruits. And that's just because the fruits here in the States are pretty high in sugar. So, you know, just like us, they could get some like things like diabetes. So I really like chocolate, but even I know that I can't eat it every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I think we will give it to them as like a little
Know me as the Rizzler, I'm the Panther dressed in black. Once I give your girl the wrist face, there's no chance she's coming back.
Sometimes they get a little bit hangry.
One of the chimps did this amazing dance.
And again, that's because they are really small. So that's actually really good.
What are you looking at?
And the crowd loved it. I think the chimps did real chimp stuff, 30 seconds total, maybe a minute. But I still think that was the highlight of the entire zoo for most of the people there. For the other 3 hours of the trip, across every exhibit, the animals were just existing. That 30 seconds of action, though, that's the story everyone tells when they get home.
Just like your last Tinder date.
I think it's kind of beautiful, though, that all these people are here because they just want to be near animals and see what they do, even if all they do is sit on the ground and eat leaves. We come to the apes because they're the most like us. We see ourselves in them. And apparently we'll pay $27 and walk through active construction for the privilege. After Chimp Chat ended, I talked to the zookeeper for a bit. She asked me about my camera, and I asked about the baby chimps. It was a nice conversation. One of the few I had all day that wasn't with myself. Alright, so I've been at the zoo for like 2 hours now, and my blood sugar is still like 400. So I took 15 more units of insulin. Keep walking around. See how it goes. It was really cloudy when I got here, but it seems like it's cleared up a bit, and it's a very nice day. So I'm happy I'm here. I'd been walking for over 2 hours and it hadn't done anything. I took more insulin and kept going because what else was I gonna do? I don't have insurance right now. Most of the exhibits were under construction, asleep, or both. Also, a pressed penny machine stole my money. I put $4 in, turned the crank, something inside made some noise, but then nothing came out.
Just like your last Tinder date.
A woman and her son also got robbed by the one next to it at the exact same time. And then I walked to the area where the elephants were supposed to be, and it was empty. The whole area was fenced off, and there were no elephants, just a sign explaining what happened. Turns out the LA Zoo sent its last 2 Asian elephants to the Tulsa Zoo in April of 2025. A male named Billy, who was 40 years old, and a female named Tina, who was 59. Just like your favorite couple on the Carnival Cruise. 2 older elephants, Jewel and Shanzi, had died in 2023 and 2024 from age-related issues. And the accreditation standards say that you need at least 3 elephants to maintain a viable social herd. And apparently they are unable to get more, so they just paused the elephant program entirely and shipped Billy and Tina to Oakland.
Where the wind comes sweeping down the plain.
The Elephants of Asia exhibit, which had been one of the main attractions for decades, is now being reimagined for other suitable species. Whatever that means, more construction. Most of the animals I encountered after that were asleep, which, to be fair, it's a cloudy afternoon, and I respect that because I also didn't want to be here today. There was a small porcine-looking thing called a mountain tapir, curled up in its enclosure, fully zonked. There was howler monkeys, too sleepy to howl. The meerkats had 2 members of the group named Jack, which I think is just confusing for everyone involved, including the Jacks. There were Webby and Dewey, 2 cunty trumpeter swans.
Hi, gay.
A very annoyed-looking Komodo dragon.
I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
Mountain goats. A Chacoan peccary named Dirt McGirt. Giraffes named Sophie, James, and Leo. Oppie the Okapi. Radiated tortoises named Blossom, Radar, John Frank, and Yoda. Ninja, a male ocelot. And there was Mousebird. I'm walking through reading every nameplate because I'm starting to think about something. Every animal here has a name and a backstory and a little sign, and most people just walk past them. The wombat exhibit is this random looking building where you just walk in and it's like dark.
Your mama's like this.
I don't know if I'm supposed to be in here.
We're going deep and we're going hard.
Hazardous anomaly detected.
Target spotted. Target neutralized. Extractor in 3. Extractor.
It feels like you're not supposed to be in there, but you are, and that's the exhibit. Nobody was performing, nobody had anywhere to be. There's no reason for any of these animals to do more than what they're currently doing, and I kind of feel the same way about myself. But at the end of it all, I haven't found the star. I think every zoo on Earth is one animal away from having its entire reputation changed overnight. Cincinnati Zoo 2016, a 3-year-old kid fell in the gorilla enclosure and the zoo made the decision to shoot him. The gorilla, not the kid. His name was Harambe. It became one of the biggest stories on the internet overnight. Partly because it was tragic, a healthy young gorilla killed because of a situation that wasn't his fault, and partly because he had a name. A name is what turns an animal into a lovable character. And that's why it's stuck. Petitions, murals, a bronze statue someone put in Wall Street, one memorable gorilla, and it's still going on a decade later. Also, I'm just now learning he had the same birthday as me, and he was killed the day after his birthday? What the fuck? That's so sad. But a year later, at the same zoo, a baby hippo was born, 6 weeks premature. She couldn't stand on her own and had to be bottle fed with milk that the zoo was extracting from her mother, which apparently had never been done before. They'd even had to team up with the Cincinnati Children's Hospital for help. The zoo named her Fiona because she had little Shrek ears, and started posting daily updates on social media, and people absolutely fell in love with her. The same zoo that lost Harambe was now raising this premature hippo in front of the entire internet. She became the thing that gave the zoo its identity back. In 2024, a baby pygmy hippo named Mudang was born at a zoo in Thailand. Her name translates roughly to bouncy pork, and people were flying halfway across the world in hopes that she'd do something funny that they could film. The zoo sold tons of Mudang merch and released a literal song by Mudang.
Mudang boing 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 Mudang boing 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 Mudang boing 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 Mudang boing 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 boing. Mommy, play with me, please, mommy, come play with me.
Incredible. That same year, we got Pesto, a baby king penguin from Melbourne, Australia, who was just enormous. Olivia Rodrigo showed up to meet him, Katy Perry showed up. The aquarium sold so many pesto plushies that they had to pull stock from other countries just to keep up. And right now, the flavor of the month is punch.
Hansel. So hot right now. Hansel.
A baby Japanese macaque born at a zoo near Tokyo, whose mother abandoned him after he was born. The zookeepers raised him by hand and gave him a stuffed IKEA orangutan to hold for comfort. And the video of this tiny monkey clutching a plush toy went everywhere. People were locked in on his story. Is he bonding with the other monkeys? Does he have his toy? Is he okay? Every single one of these animals went famous by accident. None of them were trying to go viral. They were just doing what they were already doing when someone happened to record it. My blood sugar is now 350. The insulin and the walking are finally working, but it has been hours of blurry vision and sweating through an overcast afternoon. Technically at 400, you should probably go to the hospital or at least seek an urgent care, which I didn't do because, Cobra takes a while to kick in.
Oh, it's Cobra.
Oh, of course. Look, they have the pictures of the snakes on their planes.
Duke, what have I been saying for years? What makes a good terrorist organization?
Brand recognition.
Brand recognition.
So instead of going to the hospital, I'm at the mandrill exhibit. He was right in front of his enclosure, picking his toenails. Every couple minutes he'd yawn, showing off his massive fangs, and then he'd go right back to the toenails. That's literally me. I filmed the mandrill because I didn't want to make direct eye contact with him, because I don't think apes like that very much. And maybe because I recognized myself in him. Is that sad? I don't know. He didn't seem sad. He seemed like a guy having an okay afternoon. He's also not exactly the star of the zoo. He's no Mudang, but he's here and same, I guess. Now, the apes are the obvious headliners, but the river otters are tucked to the side of the zoo, off the main path, and I almost missed them completely. But when I walked over, they were easily the most watchable animals in the entire park. They knew people were watching, and they did their job like a YouTuber slinging Squarespace ads. And otters are having a moment right now that I don't think has fully landed yet. The Monterey Bay Aquarium, about 3 hours north of here, has built a huge following on sea otters alone. Taylor Swift wore a Monterey Bay Aquarium shirt and raised $2 million for sea otter conservation. If that's not star power, I don't know what is. And the LA Zoo has river otters right here, like literally right here, putting on a show for whoever happened to walk all the way through the Rivers of America exhibit to find them. If the zoo wants its Mudang moment, it's gonna come from a 3-minute video of an otter doing something silly. But why do we make videos at all? I started making these videos because I needed a good reason to leave my apartment. Because when you spend enough time alone in 400 square feet, it stops being a place you live and starts being a place you're kept. I thought going places and filming them would help me be more present in the world. But here I am at the zoo, and I've spent my entire day looking through a screen. I'm here, but I'm watching myself be here. The chimps don't know about Planet of the Apes. They don't know about the renovation, or the 650 million, or that the elephants left, or that 2 miles south of here, there's a bunch of people eating lunch in an abandoned zoo. Is the camera helping me be in the world, or is it just giving me a new enclosure to watch from? The animals don't have this problem. They're not wondering if they're making good content. They're sitting in their space, and the day is whatever it is, and they seem fine with that. Perhaps I should be more like the chimp. The zoo is under construction. The city is under construction. I guess I am too. But I got out of bed today, which is more than the wombats can say. And if I'm being honest, next time I go somewhere, I think I want to just try and put the camera down for a minute. Just see what it feels like to be there without trying to prove I was there. But that's another video. Oh yeah, and on the way out, I finally found guest services. It was right outside the exit, attached to the ticket window. I'd been looking for it inside the zoo, but it was outside the whole time. So I told the woman about the pressed penny machine, and she pulled out a massive Ziploc bag full of every pressed penny design they had, and gave me the full set. I got what I wanted, just not the way I wanted it. There's a vendor outside selling fruit cups.
I'll do mango and watermelon.
Mango and watermelon.
Yeah.
It was $13. Well, how about that? LA Zoo, mission success. We got a little cup of fruit as a snack. Y un agua solamente. Solamente una agua. Let's see if this fruit's good. Okay. Some of the mango's kind of whatever, but the other pieces are pretty good. Let's see about the watermelon. It's alright.
Hoy estoy aquí en la roca solo, contando ovejas que ya se han ido. Mis amigos cuidan a sus críos, mis amigos duermen junto a las cascadas, mis amigos lamen ano y yo repaso libros de filosofía. Pienso en Camus y en mi destino, pero yo soy diabético, así que yo soy diabético, así que yo soy diabético, así que puedo comer fruta, pero no es dulce si no estás conmigo. Pensar en la nada, puedo comer fruta. Solo en la roca, existencialista.
Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate all the support so far, and I will have the next video up soon. See ya!